I'll record. Hey guys, welcome to our Tuesday night Diamonds to SC call. So tonight's really, oops, someone's popped up. Sorry, I'll mute you back. So tonight we're going to cover something that I found really important. Some of you may have been in the business the last 2 years that I've done it. If you weren't, and this is the first time you're hearing of it, you're going to hear me talk about it a lot more because it's one of my favorite things ever. And that is the Tony Robbins event that he does here in Australia called UPW. It actually stands for Unleash the Power Within, and it's 4 to 5 days. Jess, you just keep coming off mute there, darling. I'm just going to mute you again. Perfect. And it's 4 or 5 days of pretty much working with him and his trainers, and it's epic. It's absolutely amazing. If you ever see the one where they walk on fire, that's it. He trains our brains to be able to walk over fire, which is unreal. But one of the things that I found really applicable, I mean, a lot of it's personal growth and personal development and finding out where your wounds are and what stops you from actually getting into action. But one of the things that I found really useful to be able to take away from that and use in my business is what he calls the ultimate success formula. Now, this is something that I actually have written down, and it's something that whenever you guys may see, I have a habit, this is my ritual. Every 3 to 4 months, I create a new folder because I tend to go through them. And every 3 to 4 months, I create a new vision board on the front of it. So every time that I sit down for a call, every time I sit down for a training, every time I come on this call, I open up everything that I want to achieve. And it's consistently there in front of me. We've talked about manifesting and visualization before, but it's something that I find really has affected my whole life. So if you don't have a vision board or somewhere where your goals are in sight consistently, I really do urge you to just make that step, okay? But then when I open it up, I actually have my ultimate success formula written down. So if you guys have a notepad, this is going to be an interactive training because I actually want you guys to be going through your own ultimate success formula, and we can work out what exactly that is. Now there's 5 steps, and it's neuro-associative training. So what it's doing is it's actually conditioning our brain waves to believe that this will happen. And the more often that we see this and the more often that we've talked before about whatever you believe, you can achieve. So if you're thinking of it, if you know it, if you've got it on pen and paper in front of you, it is quite often more likely to come to fruition than somebody who's not even having it in their mind. All right, so what I want you to do is I want you to write down this. Now, number 1 is know your outcome. Now you have to remember that clarity is power in this. So your outcome can't be fluffy. I don't want it to just be NMD or, retire myself. I literally want you to be able to get specific as possible. What is your outcome in this business? And let's go for the next 12 months. Okay, from now until next April, what is it that you want to achieve in this business? What's going to be your outcome for showing up every day in the next 12 months? Perfect. Now this one really is key. I know we use the analogy quite a lot, but if you don't have coordinates for your ship, you're just going to get battered around by the elements, okay? You really need to know why you're here and what you want to achieve out of it. Now, everybody's is going to be different. There's no right, there's no wrong. In fact, I think the more personal it is, the better. But it's really important that you know why you're here. What is it that you want to achieve? Is it to earn $2,000 a month? Is it $4,000 a month? Is it NMD and a 6-figure income? Okay, now the next step, number 2. So we get very in your head up in number 1. What is it that you want to achieve? Number 2 is know your reasons why. So the second part of your success formula has to include the reasons why you want number one. Now, this is when we get emotionally tied. If we have a really strong outcome and a really strong reason why we want to achieve it, we'll find that we're actually pulled towards our goals and we want to achieve it. We get obsessed over achieving it rather than feeling like we're constantly pushing. Okay, because constantly pushing is not a nice state to be in, especially when you guys already probably have jobs. You want this place to be the fun, the passion, the excitement, and knowing the emotions why you want to achieve that is like the fuel to the fire. All right, so when I first started this, my outcome was very different. My outcome was to be able to earn $4,000 a month so that I could be there better for my children. And my reasons why I could be there better for the children got really emotional for me. Yeah, so I'm sure that is where you want to get, why. For me, it was because I didn't want my kids to grow up in an absent family. I didn't want them to consistently be shuffled to daycare because I was a single parent and trying to do it all by myself. I really wanted to be there for them. So the emotions got quite high in my reason why. And that's why my business worked so hard at the start, why it just went like this, because I had an insane reason to turn up. I really wanted it. So the third, now this is my favorite, and this is Tony Robbins speaking, not me, so don't get angry. But the third step is take massive fucking action. So I want you to write that down, and I want you to be realistic with where you're sitting with that. Have you been taking massive action? Not just massive action. It is one of my favorites, Mark, so I'm not going to lie. It's funny, we have a term and it's called MFA. It's massive fucking action, and it means getting off your bum and doing stuff every day. Now, it is the third key element to your success formula. I always like to think that the universe matches your effort. So yes, we can manifest. Yes, we can, envision whatever we want, and we can bring it to fruition if we put the effort in to match. Yeah. So you have to be really honest with that sometimes too, guys, because people want a really big life and they want really big change, but they're not prepared to give up the time to do the really big work. Yeah, because it is. This business is very flexible and you can fit it in where you want, but it will be time consuming if you want to build your life. Now, you guys have known my story, the majority of you. When I first came into this business, I had no time. I was one of those people that said, no, I possibly can't fit anything else in. Like I mentioned, I was a single mum. I had 2 babies. I was going through hell with their dad. And I was also trying to run 2 traditional businesses just to keep us afloat, which was failing miserably. But I had no time to take on another business. But what I saw in this was the opportunity to get out of the situation that I was in. And I'm really grateful because my upline showed me that. She didn't put it at me as, here's another business for you. She put it at me as, this is the vehicle that can give you the life that you want. And that's the way I want you guys to train your brain to see it. It's not extra work. One of my favorite lines that I think I've ever read in this business is pick your hard. Yeah, your hard, is it going to be getting out of your comfort zone and sharing your story? Or is it going to be going to a job you hate for the next 40 years? Is your hard going to be choosing 30 minutes to do this work rather than 30 minutes sitting on Netflix or 30 minutes scrolling through your phone? What hard is it going to be? Now, honestly, as a mum, I'm not going to lie. There was definitely times when I had to sacrifice time with my kids to build my business. And that stung. It hurt. Especially because they were the reason why I was doing it. But for you guys that know my life right now, was it worth it? Abso-fucking-lutely. Yeah, like I earn really, really good money right now. It's way, way further away than what it used to be. I used to be scraping by on $400 a week. That's what we were living off. Now it's over 2,000. You know, like that jump, was it worth it? That alone, fuck yes. But it was also the growth, the people that I've got to meet, and all the emotional revenue and the time freedom that is my favorite one. You know, the money is great, but being able to do things in your own time, getting up when I want, apart from school run. Unfortunately, school run has to happen every day. But, you know, like I get to choose. Do I want to go have coffee now with my partner before I start work? Do I want to, you know, like Monday, I worked really hard because I love it. It's Monday, it gets me excited, gets me pumped up to see you guys. Yesterday this morning I woke up feeling not so great. So I was really blessed. I didn't work at all today until I got to this afternoon, you know, but I had that option. And realistically, you guys have known for the last 3-4 months I've been really sick with this pregnancy. And if I had a normal job, I would be at work every day, or I'd be losing money because I wouldn't be turning up to shifts. With this business, I've been able to work maybe 5 to 10 hours a week and still earn my income. Now, there's no other security that I know like that, not even property. So is this hard worth it? Yes, absolutely. Is getting into MFA worth it? Absolutely. Okay, but I am really clear on the fact that it takes work. Anybody who ever tells you that you can make money online quick is a liar and is trying to scam you, 100%. It's a business. It's a job. We're turning up and we're creating life on our terms, but is it worth it in the end? Absolutely. Work hard for 1 to 2 years and then chill out and work part-time for the rest of your life. That's what you create with this kind of residual income system. Okay, so take massive action is number 3. Now, number 4 is know what you're getting. So this can be quite similar to number 1, and sometimes people get a little bit confused. But I want you to write down all the little things that you're going to be getting out of number 1. So is it more time with your babies? Is it out of a job that makes you miserable? Is it less stress when it comes time to pay bills? Is it, you know, a better family Christmas, sitting around all your loved ones? Is it a holiday away every year? I love looking at all these thinking faces. Yes, I am, Shel. Awesome. Now, if you've got more to go on that, please do that, okay? Do that after we finish and write down as much as you can. Pour your heart out on this piece of paper. And now number 5, I want you guys to write this one probably bigger than you've wrote anything else on the page. Number 5 is change your approach. Now, this is the ultimate success formula. Now, they say that because it creates ultimate success. Okay, coming from one of the world's most influential people, it knows its shit. And why I love number 5 the best is because people do number 4, and if they go 1, 2, 3, 4, they get excited, they get pumped up for 6 months, and if it doesn't work, they fizzle out and they think, oh, I knew I couldn't do it, or I knew I wasn't, you know, that wasn't made for me, you know, I felt that wasn't okay, you know, and they make all the excuses of why they're playing small. Number 5, change your freaking approach. Do it differently. Try a different way. Don't change your outcome. Never, ever, ever change number 1. Okay, we go into self-worth. Your self-worth is so important. You need to know that you are worthy of every little bit of number 1. And once you do, you'll understand that changing your approach maybe 500 times to get there is so okay. Has anybody heard the Walt Disney analogy? I can't remember how much, I think it's something ridiculous, don't quote my figures, but similar to the fact that he went and knocked on something like 300 people's, like executives, directors. He constantly went, turned over, no, we don't like your ideas, no. And he kept going. Now, who would have given up by the first 50? Probably me, realistically, yeah. But when he got to 301, someone gave him his big break. And that is one of the biggest networks that we now know that creates movies. So it's funny because changing your approach is what creates success, and it's what people forget to do. So often we will just keep trying the same thing, and when it doesn't work, we think, oh, I'm not made for this. I can't do it. I'm out. Yeah? And this is what's really cool, because you can jump on a coaching call with your upline and basically say, whatever my approach is right now, it's not working because I'm getting a hell of a nose and my team aren't doing anything. And we can brainstorm of a way to call, well, what can we do to approach it differently that would fit with your vibe better? And you know what the shitty part is? I don't want to set you up too bad, but even when something's working, it's going to stop working. And you're going to have to change your approach again and try something new. The amount of times in this business that I have thought, I am onto a gold mine. This verbiage that I've got right now, it's just bringing people in and I'm signing them up and they're being successful. And then all of a sudden I'm doing the exact same thing and it's not working anymore. And it's so frustrating, but you have to go back and think, all right, back to the drawing board. What have I got to do now to try and find these people and to keep them motivated and to get them successful? So that is just part of the system that you have to fall in love with, because every time you learn a new system or you change a new approach, you're actually growing as well. So you're now being able to teach your team, well, I tried it like this once. It did work for a little while. Maybe you could try it. You know, because remember, what works for you might not work for someone else, and what works for someone else might not work for you. So that number 5 really is my favorite. But what I want you guys to do there is literally create a paragraph. So based off number 1, we're going to talk about, now you guys can do this now, you can do it a little bit later, it's up to you. But I want you to, in the front of whatever you work with, or if you tack it to your fridge or right next to where you wake up in the morning, I want you to have outlined in probably about 8 to 10 sentences your outcome, your reasons why, the steps that you're prepared to do, the MFA, know what you're getting, all those little bits of pieces of gold that you're going to be able to achieve, and then big capital letters, change your approach. Now, if you keep doing this for long enough, it is the ultimate success formula. Okay, stay focused, do the action, get the results, change the approach if you're not. Yeah, does that make sense to everybody? Perfect, awesome. Now, that is really cool. I love it, but I quite often hear people say to me, some days I just don't feel like doing it. And I get that. I have those exact same human days. The exact same days where you just think, you know what, I couldn't be fucked today. I don't feel like doing it. I know the reasons why, I know my outcome, but it's the massive action that I'm having trouble with. I don't know where it is. I've lost my mojo today. And another thing that Tony teaches in his UPW seminar is how to change your state. And that is literally all that needs to happen for you to get motivated again. So for those of you who are just being introduced to state training today, as I speak about it, your state is the way that you turn up. As an energetic being, I like to think it's your energy. Have you ever walked or, talked to somebody? You could even talk to them on the phone. But more importantly, if you meet them somewhere and you just think, holy shit, I can't wait to get away from you. Like, your energy is horrible. And have you ever been in one of those positions where you just feel like, I should not talk to anybody today? I am not in a good place. Well, that's your state. That being said, instantly our favorite song can come on the radio. You can have a really cool conversation with a friend or your mum and feel amazing straight away. and it lifts your state instantly. Now, in the UPW course, he actually teaches us that state training is a choice. People wake up and they feel miserable, so they think their whole day is miserable and they're a victim to their circumstance. And he really encourages us to say, stop doing that. It's stupid. Yeah, you are creating a whole day in a bad state just because you decided to do that. You know, you could wake up and go, yep, I feel like shit, but I'm not going to feel like shit for the rest of the day, so something has to change. Now, he has a method called the state change, and basically it's a triad. So if you guys have on your paper, can you draw down a triangle for me? I'll see if I can find it in here. It's got this big ass book and I can't remember where everything is. Here it is. It's got a little triad there, and it's your state. All right, now on one side, I want you to write language and meaning. Another side, I want you to do your physiology. And on the third side, we're going to say focus. Okay, so that's language / meaning, physiology, and then focus. Does anybody need me to say those again? Did we get them all? You missed a match. Focus is on one side of the triangle. And then language and meaning in the same one. And then physiology on another side. Doesn't matter where you put them. Okay, but it's really important there that we understand somewhere in our comprehension that by changing just one of these three things, we can change our state, just like that. Yeah? I love it. Sure, you're already ahead of us. You've done these before. I know, because it's so funny, you know, like for those of you who have read or watched The Secret, you've seen that part where they literally get out of bed and they stub their toe. And then they just decide for the rest of the day that they're grumpy and it's going to be shit. So then they go to brush their teeth and the toothbrush falls all over them, and then they have to go and change their shirt, and then they get in the car and they're stuck in traffic. And it's literally just shit thing up, shit thing up, shit thing. And what's really funny there is that person's going, I knew it would be a bad day. Like, I just felt it. I felt like this. That asshole was creating it. Like, they were the ones who made the whole day shit. You know, just a simple state change of shit that hurt. Like, it's okay. I'm grateful that I've got feet that actually hurt. You know, I'm grateful that I have a toe to be able to stub. I'm grateful that I got to wake up to even stub my toe. You know, like, it's those little shifts into like, okay, let's go. Now, if we were to look at the triad, that of course is language and meaning. That's giving a new meaning or adding new language to the situation. So this state is going to be always influenced by a situation if you're not aware of it. So people who have done no mindfulness training or no personal development whatsoever believe that a situation will always have the same reaction, if that makes sense. So a shitty situation in life, you should always be pissed off and you should always be angry, and that's okay. It's normal. Yeah, but once you get into the world of personal development, you realize, well, not really. It's your choice. It's a situation and you're removed from the situation. You actually get the option to say, well, how should I react? And one of the cool things about this whole training is that he breaks it down. You've got 3 easy ways to change that perspective. So one of them is language and meaning. My favorite one is always swapping it to gratitude. Yeah, so if something happens to you where your state is funked out, what is the silver lining of that situation? What did it teach you? What is the possible tiny little good thing that situation is going to participate in? Yeah, giving it a different meaning can really, really help. Now, the next one is your focus. So if I use the analogy, this is the one that he uses. It's totally not from any pain point of mine, okay? But let's just say you're at a date with your partner and you're sitting there waiting. They're supposed to have finished work. The date was at 7. It's 7 o'clock and they're not there yet. You're starting to feel a little bit worried, right? You're focusing on, shit, maybe the traffic was bad. All right, well, wait. 5 past, they're still not here. 10 past, they're still not here. Half past, still not here. What would you be focusing on right now? Now, the funny thing is that some people would be like, I'd be mudged, I'd be out. I wouldn't even care. I'd be just focusing on the food that was in front of me. Other people were starting to think, okay, well, an hour's passed now and you can't get a hold of them. Their phone's turned off. Now, some of the people in the audience, their focus was on, oh my God, they're hurt. They've had an accident, their car's broken down, they're somewhere and they need me. Okay? The other half of the audience was thinking, the bastard's probably cheating. He's probably with his ex-girlfriend. And their focus was like, I knew this would happen. I had a feeling right from the start. Like their focus was instantly on something negative. So it's really important to remember that both are probably possible, right? Both could happen, but where is your focus going? Is it somewhere healthy or is it somewhere that's instantly going to make you feel crappy? And again, that's a choice that you get. If, let's just say you were in that situation and you were thinking he's a bastard, you could start to talk yourself out of it and be like, yeah, that's really unfair, Katrina. That's really not nice. He could be stuck in traffic. He could be somewhere that really needs you, and I'm going to try and take my focus to a better place. Same thing in our business, right? If we send a message to someone and they leave us on red, how horrible. They don't reply. They just leave us on red. And it was one that comes through to us as like, oh, it's a little bit brutal. It's a little bit vulnerable. I didn't really want to reach out to this person, but I did, and it took all my strength, and now the fuckers left me on red. And they're not getting back to me. What am I going to do? Like, I'm breaking down. Half of the people in this training would be thinking, oh my God, I knew I shouldn't have done that. I knew they thought this was a scam. I knew they hated MLM, and they probably think I'm an idiot, and now they're never going to speak to me again. And they start focusing on all the horrible things that could happen. And then there's the other people that just went, oh, she forgot. She must have got caught up with the kids. Yeah. There's 2 totally different focuses, and you get to choose which one you're going to do. Now, one's going to feel a lot better than the other, right? Now, the third one is my favorite, and it's physiology. So for those of you who don't like big words, I don't either. It actually means your body. So it's however you moving the physical form of you. So that's my oven. I wonder if my kids are going to turn it off. Yep, I can hear little feet running. They got it. Perfect. Okay. So the third one is your state. All right. So your physiology. It's your body. Now, you guys even know if you're feeling shitty, like I just want you to, for those of you who are spiritual, you've got your heart center in the middle here, right? I want you to concave around it. I want you to put everything down, your shoulders down, your head down, your focus down. And I want you to try and feel happy right now. Just put a really big smile on your face and just think of all the great things that's happened in life. Does that feel really freaking awkward for anybody else? Yeah, right? Because this is the depressed state of your body. So right now, my little brain, my little, what do you call that? Oh, wow. My baby's making it today. I read this morning on my baby app that my baby is making it today, and I've forgotten. Who can help me out? What's the system? The nervous system. It's the nervous system, right? So this state, okay, it's the nervous system, the brain of my body is saying, you can't be happy right now because your body is depressed. You've made your body be depressed. Now, on the other side, I want you to lift your shoulders up. If you've got boobs, put them out there. And I want you to get really happy. How much easier does that feel? Feels good. Feels like you can get shit done. Yeah? And that's literally because you just told your nervous system, change your bloody state. You've got this. All right. Now, I can see you guys. So I want you to play at home because I'm in my jammy pants. And if I have to get up, you guys do as well. But I want you to stand up. Don't judge. Okay. And I want you, it's called the Superwoman stance. Superman, for any of the men on here as well. But shoulders up, boobs out, chest out, pecs out. And I want you to put your hands on your hips. Okay, now breathe deeply into your chest and push your pelvis forward. You guys look so cool. And I just want you to stay here for let's just count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Cool. Now, can you feel right now the energy flowing through your body? Yeah? I'm not crazy, right? Because you just trained your nervous system. Right now, I am powerful, I am strong, and I've got shit. Okay, you just tricked your state into changing. Now, the funny thing is that you guys can do this whenever you want. You're probably going to look like a fruitcake if you decide to do that in the middle of the shopping centre, but it's a really cool, handy one for home. The other one of my favourites is shaking your bum. Now, this is probably one that I won't make you do because I've got a little bit extra happening today, but shaking your bum, as crazy as it sounds, is one of the quickest ways to teach your nervous system to get out of a funk. That's why so many people love dancing when they're drunk, because the inhibitions go and your nervous system is just like, hell yes, let's do this. But unfortunately, when our consciousness comes back, we overthink everything, okay? And we tend to get in a shit mood and everything starts to happen, all right? So it's really important that you guys are in the driver's seat of what your state is. Because if you're in a good state and you go to do number 3 of your ultimate success formula, which is massive fucking action, okay, you get a lot more done. And you're a lot more productive because from a spiritual sense, the energy that you hold transmits. So if you're in a good state, you're going to be sending that good state to somebody else that you're talking to. So that's a lot more to be responsible for now, isn't it? Because we are in a position where we can help change people's lives. Are we helping change them like this? Hey, how's your day? Yeah, you should take my product. It's awesome. No, and that's why people go, oh, my business isn't working. I think, well, why? Because you're not doing any personal development. You're not growing. You're not turning up as a better version of yourself. And that really is the secret sauce of our business, apart from changing your approach. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. It's something that blew my mind because as a dancer, I've always known that both physical movement and music. Music is one of my biggest state changes. Like, I think I've joked with you guys that if I'm ever in an angry mood, I will actually choose to put angry music on just so that I can stay in that state for a little bit longer and just drag it out. But I know that that's probably not very responsible. It's not a good place to be in if I had to come and talk to you guys. So I know that before I go and speak on stage, I have my song, which is Man in the Mirror by Michael Jackson, and it instantly changes my beat. Instantly. And that is why, you know, I make a joke about this regularly with my girls going for NMD. So it's a really big song for me energetically. It actually brings tears to my eyes and I feel it so much. And when you hit NMD, which is the peak promotion in our business, right? That's kind of where you all want to gain. They say to us, pick a song and you play it to walk on stage to. And I would really encourage you guys right now, when we're talking about know your outcome, know what song's going to be playing when you walk that stage as an NMD. Pick it out, visualize it, see it, believe it, have it up there so that you know it's going to happen. Yeah, but mine was always Man in the Mirror because it was always my song that meant something. If I was having a shitty day or a shitty moment and I was losing track of my business, I would put it on because it would bring me back. And I wanted to do it so badly, but I knew that as soon as they played it, I would burst into tears. And from then we had to speak, right? So I knew that I couldn't do that. Well, that's what I thought. So I picked a different song for my NMD speech here in Australia. And it still pisses me off that I let that happen, because I know my best state is when I listen to that song, when I am in that zone. So when I got asked to do my NMD speech in America, I thought, fuck it. I'm going to pick the song and I'm just going to cry the whole damn time that I speak. And you know what? I did cry. As soon as the song played and I started getting up on stage to deliver my speech, I cried. But I got myself together and I think I delivered one of the best speeches that I've ever done, because I was in my zone and I was in my spot. So that is really the power of knowing how to get your vibration and your alignment in the most perfect state. So have a think, guys, where you are right now. What would be your song? What would be the epitome of your journey if we were to say your NMD this time next year? So when we're lining up to go for the conference, you're going to be going across the stage and they're going to be playing your song. What is it? Now, when the time comes that you're in this mood, play that damn song. Yeah, when the time comes and you know you have 2 hours right now to designate to the business and get shit done, play that song. Get pumped up, get ready, get in that zone so that you're coming from a good state, ready to serve other people, because that's what we do. Yeah, perfect. Okay, has anybody got their songs? Oh, come on, Cheryl, you need to know the name of it. You'll have to get it done. Does anybody else have theirs that they want to share? Dead or Alive, Bon Jovi. Oh, yes. Oh, I can't wait for that one. That'll be so good. Perfect. So homework, moving on up. That's a great one. Final countdown. Oh, I love that. Man, I feel like a woman. Yes, Bo. That's awesome. So cool. I think that one brings something out in me too. If I Ruled the World. Yes, I love that one. Beautiful, beautiful. Now, what I also want you guys to do too, when we were talking about state training, and we were becoming aware of the fact that this was a depressed state, this was your superwoman state, your own nervous system will have default settings. And I love this. Linda, who's one of my favorite mentors, does the most amazing trainings on this, but I'm just going to touch the base for you guys. So you will have default personalities in your nervous system. So you're going to have maybe like depressed Debbie, who gets down and she gets angry at life and she hates that things don't work. And then you're going to have like maybe the mama bear, right? The one who gets in the spot, who just wants to help everybody and love over everybody. And you might find that that's a little bit more of a happier state for you to be in. Okay, there might be another one that's like, you know, Eeyore. The amount of Eeyores that I've seen on my coaching calls is ridiculous. But you all have one. We probably all have a little side of us that comes out as Eeyore. But we need to be able to be aware, okay, right now what I'm showing up as, whoever this person is right now in my nervous system sucks. Hey, thanks for getting my oven. Thanks for getting the oven. Was it Sissy? Oh. So just doing those things and being aware of, okay, well, right now, Debbie the Downer is in the driver's seat and she's not allowed to be. So I'm going to have to have a rock star name. Give yourself like the best rock star name that you can. And it is like the Superwoman girl or the Superman stance. Who is that? Okay. And then just say to yourself, that person needs to be here right now. What can I do to get them in the seat? What would make them appear? Would it be listening to my song? Is it going for a run? It's definitely not mine. Go for a run and then depressed Debbie comes out. But is it something that pumps you up and gets you excited? Yeah? Because that person is going to get a lot more done and have a lot more energy to serve other people. So that's a little bit of training around your ultimate success formula. Please have that out and about Yeah, have that somewhere where you see it. Be aware that changing your approach is so normal and so necessary, and it's going to have to happen. You're going to have to make friends with that. And then also be aware of what state are you going into number 3. Is it okay to be doing MFA in a Debbie Downer state, or do you need to bring out your Wonder Woman? Yeah, cool. All right, do we have any questions on that? Oh, I'm loving some of these songs. Loving that. Queen. I love Queen. What is it, baby? Can you wait? I'm going to come out very soon. We're finished now. Oh, I forgot to put him in the wash. I'll do it now. Okay. Sorry, guys. I forgot to wash Teddy and it's almost bedtime. Disaster. So I'm going to have to shoot on off and do that right now before the event. But I appreciate your time, guys. I'm so excited. Hopefully that covered a little bit, got you a little bit excited around what we can achieve in the next month with that massive action being at the front of our mind. So anyway, thank you so much for your time, guys. I'll pop this recording up tomorrow. So if you do want to watch it again, or if you missed any of it, keep your eyes peeled. All right. See you soon, guys.
Thanks, Kat.
Bye.
Bye.